Hello and welcome to Yoga with Helena. Today we are going to be doing a sequence for our hips. Whenever we're doing yoga, it's important to remember one of the first tenets of yoga, and that is ahimsa. So compassion for self. So we want to remember to work within a limit of our body that feels good and feels comfortable. Every once in a while, maybe we want to step over that line, and as time goes on, that line might move, but we want to be cognizant of that idea of being compassionate to ourselves. And maybe what I'm doing on the video is something that works good for me, but maybe it doesn't work for you. And you should listen to your body and do what feels good for you. So the first thing that I would like us to do is to lay down, and we're just going to focus on our breath. We're going to focus on making our breath long, smooth, and comfortable. So breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And just continue. On the next inhalation, what I'd like you to do is take your right leg and just raise it up towards yourself. And as you exhale, lower it down. You don't need to do this full range of motion, just whatever feels good. So it might even just look like this. This is where I like to be though. And swap sides. So breathing in to raise, exhale to lower. Does this feel good? Can you keep your breath smooth and long? Bringing both feet to the mat. Coming back to our long, smooth breath. So what we're going to do now is some bridge poses. And now whenever we're doing a bridge pose, it's helpful to put our hands on our hips. You know, we have these little bony prominences here. Just rest your fingers on there. And what we're going to do is try to make sure that we don't have like a drunken pelvis, that it stays in the same level plane. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a breath in and blow it all the way out. And then we're going to breathe in and just pressing down, raising a little bit. So we're just engaging the muscles a little bit and building a little bit of awareness. And then releasing down. And trying that one more time. Just pressing down through your heels, raising the hips just a tiny bit. And then this time we're going to come up. So pressing down through the feet, raising up. And a couple of breaths here. Now, if this is feeling really good and safe and comfortable, you can try and do a different variation. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your awareness to the right foot and the right side of your body. You're pressing even more on the right side, and you're going to unweight the left foot. So you see how my pelvis didn't move? Side to side, we want to make sure that we're staying even. And then we're going to bring our attention to the left side, pressing down, unweighting the right. Maintaining our smooth, easy breath. And releasing. The reason why we're doing this is to help train our glutes to engage and work properly. We're going to come up one more time. So pressing in through the heels, raising up. And I'm just going to show one more variation. You can just go at whatever level works for you. And you're going to press down through your foot, raising up. See, my pelvis is getting a little bit drunk. This is hard for me. But I think it's good for me to push my boundaries a little bit here and there. I'm still able to breathe long and slow though. And coming down. And just rocking your pelvis back and forth, maybe side to side. And we're going to do a happy baby pose. We're just going to do it one leg at a time though. So, all it is just pulling your knee kind of towards your shoulder. And you can hang on to your thigh here, or the outside of your foot, or your toe. You could even use a strap here over your foot and then just hang on to it here. Today I think I'm feeling the outside of my foot. And we're going to come back to that long, smooth breath. Now I'm quite mobile through my hips, so this is really comfortable for me. So you want to be feeling maybe a tension in the hip, but you don't want to be feeling pain. So if that's what's happening, maybe just easing off to where it feels good. This is where a strap can be really useful. It's just over the foot and hanging on to it. This other leg, the left leg here, I'm just relaxing it to the side so we get a nice opening through the pelvic floor. And releasing. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Long, smooth breaths. Excellent. What we're going to do is just a little bit of mobilization through our legs. So we're going to breathe in and blow it all the way out. And breathing in, we're going to drop that leg to the side, the right leg to the side. And then when we exhale, the left leg is going to follow. Our pelvis is staying mostly flat on the ground. And then we're going to inhale, and the left leg is going to open. And then exhale, the right leg follows. So we're just inhaling and exhaling and having the legs move side to side. Inhale to the left. Exhale, right leg follows. Inhale, right leg to the side. Exhale, left leg follows. Inhale, left leg to the side. Exhale, right leg follows. Okay, and then we're gonna roll onto our sides and come into a seated position. We're gonna do what are called 90-90 hips. So we are gonna bring one leg to the side and the other one in front. If you can kind of see, they're at 90 degrees and 90 degrees. Now, if you have any impingement in your hips, you can lean way back so it takes the pressure off of your hips. Now, the reason why we're doing this is just to maintain mobility through our hips. So we're gonna pick one leg up, move it to the other side. And you can lean as far back as you need. This gets the internal and external muscles, rotation muscles of our hips moving really well. If leaning back for you is quite easy and you feel like you want to step over your edge a little bit, you can come into a more upright position. And then the next level would be trying it without hands. And I keep using the word level, and it's not really a favorite word of mine. It's a bad habit. And they're not really levels. They're more just like options. One version of these poses is not better than the other. It's about what is working for you. And that's what's important. It's about feeling your body and sensing This feels good. That doesn't feel good. This feels safe. This feels unsafe. And when you're paying attention to those kinds of things, it helps our nervous system to feel safe or unsafe. And that's really important when you're dealing with chronic pain. Okay, and then we're going to stay on this side here. And then we're going to push this knee into the ground. So we're engaging all these muscles on the inner hip. And then we're going to release. And pushing this knee into the ground. If your knee is sensitive, you could put maybe an extra pillow underneath it, or a towel, or anything like that, just to take the pressure point off. We're pressing our leg down into the ground. Okay, and no hip flow is complete without a hip flexor stretch. We all do a lot of sitting these days, and then that makes them get really short. So what we're going to do is we're going to be in a kneeling lunge position. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our pelvis way forward. Let me show you that again. So bringing your pubic mound way forward, like you're drawing it up towards your ribs. And then we're going to tuck our ribs back. And then we're going to lean forward just a little bit. And you should feel a really good stretch right through here. And we're just going to hang out here, and we're going to breathe. So our pelvis is tucked forward and our ribs are tucked back, and then we're leaning forward a little bit. And then we're going to release. And we're just going to walk this left foot a little bit forward, and we're just going to come through some rotations through this hip. Try to see if you can breathe in coordination with your movement, and then just swap directions. Yep, that's my ankle and my knee cricking and cracking. They always do that. And then we're going to swap sides. So here's our hip flexor stretch. So tucking the pelvis forward, tucking the ribs backwards, almost like you're hunching, and then leaning forward. Coming back to our slow, smooth breath. And releasing, walking that right foot forward a little bit, and coming into our little mobilization circles. Swap directions. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, it's almost like a pigeon at the wall. And the reason why I'm not showing you guys pigeon on a regular pigeon is because I feel like it's a really strong intense version of pigeon. And for people who have hip problems, it's mostly not accessible. So I'd like to show you guys an option here. My back's going to be to the camera, but I'll try and speak loud. So to get up towards the wall, you're just going to come so you're sitting sideways towards it, and you're going to lean backwards and bring your legs up. If this move is hard for you, you can always just use a chair in front of you. I think that would be accessible for most people. So what we're going to do is hook the left foot over the right knee, and you're just going to bring your attention to your hip. How does this feel? For some people, this is going to be a stretch. For others, it might not. So all you're going to do is, if you want to go further, is just bend the knee against the wall. And it's going to act like a lever against your bent leg. And then you can find a place that feels good and just stay here, closing your eyes and breathing long, smooth breaths. What I like about this pose is that it changes the relationship of the hip to gravity, where most of your weight is on your back. So you can invite that muscle to open up as compared to forcing it open. And then to come out, we're just going to walk that foot up the wall, easily releasing out of that. Other side. And then the next thing we're going to do is a wide-legged position against the wall. You should feel a nice stretch through the inner thighs and your groin here. If this is painful for you, you could support your thighs with your hands, or just come up, you know, make it a little easier for yourself. And bring your legs together. And we're going to just take a moment with legs up the wall. And then bringing your knees to your chest. Maybe rocking back and forth a little bit. and turning onto one side, coming up. Thank you for practicing with me today.